Hey guys, Lou here. Welcome back to Acorn Hill. This is a short video that I wanted to put out. This is regarding dahlia growing, dahlia preparation, dahlia division, and dahlia reconditioning after they have hibernated and rested during the winter. Now, before we go any further, I wanted to thank everybody who's given us good comments and good feedback regarding our new garden bed project / raised bed project that I just put out recently. I'm going to put a link on the description box below for that video and also put up a card up on the screen. That way you can refer to it if you're interested in knowing what I did for that problematic section of our garden, which now, yay, it's not anymore. And of course, more importantly, I wanted to thank all our subscribers and everybody who's viewing our videos, who look forward to seeing what we have to offer here in Acorn Hill. Again, you are the lifeblood of this channel, and we appreciate all the good encouragement. And so continue to watch us. There's a few more and a lot more coming up with every idea and every project that we have out here. Right, so dahlias. A few thoughts that I have on dahlias. First, this is my first year to grow them from start to finish, meaning from the time I've cured them during the winter, the time that I acquired some of them during the early spring, and preparing them to be planted out on the landscape. Second, dahlias, they grow from tubers. They're not roots, but these are the fleshy, almost potato-like parts of the plant where all the branches and all the lead growth comes out of. It is an interesting and exciting thought that from these ugly little tubers will produce all this growth, and it has its natural ability to push out blooms day in and day out, week after week during the growing season. I call them the plant that keeps on giving. Now, with the amount of beauty and yield and flowers that they provide, dahlias also have one request, that their maintenance and their growing habits can be maintained by a gardener who's knowledgeable in keeping them. Now, it shouldn't sound too tedious, but what I've done is throughout last year, I was able to come up with a program that I will do month by month in order to keep them, have them grow, maintain them in the ground, pick them up after they've grown, restore them for the winter, and then start the cycle all over again. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to share with you what I do in the spring to care for, take the dahlias out, and what to do for the 3 months of March, April, and May to these tubers. Back in March, I took the tubers out of storage. These dahlias were stored in perforated plastic tubs just for circulation and so that we could get some of the curing to happen in the winter. I took them out from storage early March, and then I covered them with compost, and then I started to lightly spray it with water to encourage growth. Now, before I move into April and May on the schedule for the dahlias, what I'm doing here on the clip is preparing the pot so we could plant the tubers. I'm filming this early May, so from March into April and then May, I'll flash up all the different instructions on the screen. That way you know the stages of the dahlia preparations in spring. Alright, now I've discussed my March preparations earlier. Now we move on to April. When shoots are visible from the tubers, this is the time to divide the tubers and really multiply the stock that you have. I also pot up the tubers using the potting compost, which is what I'm about to do on this clip. This initial potting up process is not the final application or the final planting site for these tubers. We're only doing this, or I'm doing this, just to encourage more roots to come out and encourage that foliage on top and that stem on top to now start develop photosynthesis and start the process of growth. And this method of potting this up is really an easy process. Get a plastic disposable tub, put the compost, a good layer right on the bottom, place the tuber right on top of it and start topping it up with compost. I tap it on the work surface just to allow the loose compost to occupy all the irregularities and the negative spaces in between the tubers. Alright, still with me? By March, we took out the tubers from storage. In April, we started potting them up. And in May, this is what we do. It may look like a crime scene on the clip, but in May, what we do is when the plants have 3 to 4 pairs of leaves, we pinch and remove the growth points. This encourages the dahlias to bush out later on. You may also notice that the dahlia sprouts are pale and not green or not dark the way they should look. What happened was I wasn't expecting that the temperatures would warm up straight away. These tubers were being stored in our garage, and then for 2 weeks we had unexpected freezing temperatures that, if prematurely put out, these dahlias would definitely be decimated by the cold. And so, after those freezing temperatures had passed through the area and looking through the forecast, I knew that it's high time for us to start getting these tubers ready to be planted on the landscape. March, April, and May, these are the things that I do, and I hope that you learned something new today. For some people, it is almost like a ritual, a passage for spring. Apart from deadheading and taking care of those tulips and bulbs, dahlias are the next showstoppers in the middle of the summer, and so preparing them and planting them would be the best thing to do right about this time. And with dahlia names as Bilbao, Lilac Time, Dinner Plate, Emery Paul, and Dahlia Ferncliff, and many others, I will give you an update on these dahlias when they are in bloom and some tips on how to care for them starting in June, July, and August. Thanks again for spending time with me today, guys. I hope you learned something new about caring for dahlias and preparing them prior to planting them out in the landscape. This is Louie coming to you from Acorn Hill. And again, if you haven't subscribed to Acorn Hill, do click on that subscribe button and share the good word about Acorn Hill to your friends. So long for now, guys. This is Louie, and we'll see you back here in Acorn Hill. Bye-bye for now.